Right, we're on. Today we're going to do some short game stuff. I'm going to go in here and do it. And we're going to clip some chips. So we're going to play some pitches and try and get some good strike on these little pitch shots, these 30, 40 yarders. Oh. And see if we can improve ball striking with that. It's a little dodgy one, that sort of distance, that 30, 40 yarder, so strike becomes a little bit tricky because we try and become a little bit handsy and we try and make sure we get good toe contact. But there's a way that we can do it that rather than thinking about striking, thinking about what the hands and arms are doing and what the clip head's doing with the golf ball, we can use our body. So I've created a little drill that's going to hopefully help you with strike with your dodgy length pitch shots. Right, so short game, hold on. Short game. I've got a new toy to try. 58 degrees. I like experimenting with wedges. I like my Wilson wedges very well, but I also like this because the grooves are very well. I like the grooves right to the end. The grooves right to the end here are great because I play a lot of little shots from the toe. You'll have seen all my videos on that I play little chip shots from the toe, so that's why I got this wedge to try it out, see how we get on. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about trying to make sure we get good contact with our 30 to 40 yard pitch shots. Now they really are a little awkward distance, aren't they? A lot of people struggle from that distance to get good strike because the hands and the arms come into play, because it's neither a full shot nor a feel shot. That's more feel than it is full. So this is a full shot, this is a feel shot. We're much more on the feel end of the spectrum here. So it becomes it's an in-betweener, isn't it? I totally understand why people struggle with that, because I mean hitting full shot's easy. When we've got full shot and we're hitting it full, then it's easy to commit to that shot. But then all of a sudden distance control becomes paramount and we've got maybe some form of obstacle to go over and we freak out just a fraction and we try and be cute, but then the hands and arms take over and it's not a pretty move. The outcome's never successful from that, so we need to make sure strike is king. So let's concentrate on strike. Let's, rather than concentrate on distance control, let's concentrate on the strike. And there's a way we can do it without being so handsy and armsy. When I say handsy and armsy, I mean club comes down, hands come down, we don't really turn the body through because we're trying so hard to take strength off the shot. The body still has to turn. The body must turn. The body turning through is what's going to control distance and control strike. The hands and arms, these fast twitch muscles, are not what we're after on this shot. So let's try and keep them out of play. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my address position. I've got a 40 yard shot, let's say. Take my address position. So I'm in my forward bend, I'm full dress position. And from here, what I'm going to do, when I come down towards the golf ball, I'm going to hit the ball, clearly going to hit the golf ball, but then I'm going to look over my left shoulder. So I'm going to hit the ball and look over my left shoulder. Okay, now you could hear strike was really good there. I looked over here, I've got Brandon Grace, I've got Thomas Peters, I've got Sergio Garcia and Henrik Stenson. And I'm looking over my shoulder here at those four guys. So I set myself up in your normal pitching address position, a little bit left, club towards target. We're not going to talk about that, we're really talking about strike. Up to there, and then when I come through, I want to look over my left shoulder towards Brandon Grace, this position here. So I'm looking right behind me, over my right shoulder, to the outside of my right shoulder here, a point behind me. So I'm going to play the shot, and after strike, or as I'm playing strike, I look over and see Brandon Grace. You can hear how good the strike was in both of those shots. Looking over to see Brandon. Now what does that do? Well, that gets the body to turn through. It also gets my left hip turns, so it's rotational, but also goes up the way. So it turns up and through to allow me to look over my left shoulder. Now that motion of the hips opening up and me standing up is what throws the club down towards the golf ball, and I get good strike from that. Brandon Grace. So the opening of the body, the left hip, I feel the left hip. When I play the shot, I actually think about left hip going backwards and upwards. Okay. That's what I think about when I play the shot. Okay? Now in order to get that feeling, that's not easy to do. So by turning and looking over my left shoulder towards this picture behind me, that's going to make that happen. Without trying to think about my hip must do this, this and this, so I'm trying to push my hip into this position. If I look over my left shoulder as I'm striking the golf ball, so strike and then looking over, continue through, it's going to make it happen. When you ask golfers to move a certain part of their body, they focus so much on that. So if I was to focus purely on left hip, I would be, okay, it has to turn but go up. So it becomes very funky. Whereas I can just think about looking over my left shoulder, keeping the whole motion flowing. So set up position. Rounding grace, but you look where my left hip is compared to where it started. So it's gone up and it's turned round. My belt buckle was pointing towards target. All because I'm looking over my shoulder. You can do this on the golf course. When you're out practicing, you're playing your bounce game, get yourself lined up to your shot, pick something over your shoulder, take a little address position, it's just a bounce game. Okay, something over there, that's what I'm going to look at. I'm not going to bother about the outcome. I set myself up. I'm looking at that tree, for example, then I can look back and see what the outcome was. But I can hear and feel how good strike is there, but I'm not even focusing on strike. And that's what it's all about. So as I say, I could feel how good strike was, outcome was good as well, trajectory was good, but I wasn't focusing on the strike. The strike was great without me concentrating on the strike. I took my mind away from the strike, got a body to work in a different way, which encouraged a good strike to happen. And that's what golf's all about. If we can make that simple, or easier to understand, or easier just to create that motion, rather than being so focused on strike where we become hands and armsy, then we're going to get better. We have to get better. The strike gets better. If strike gets better, even though the outcome, I mean, if you're on the green, it's fine. If we reduce the thin and reduce the chunk because we've looked over our left shoulder, then, well, it's a win, isn't it?